This is part 27 of Memoir to 40, Autobiography of David Smith. You know, when you get old, like I happen to be an Earl, and I'm turning gray, even though my metabolic age says I'm 50, and I can prove I'm not Bill Gates. By my metabolic age is 50. There's my family at one time. Look at that diet, my God. Look at that. That's why the root beer must have been what happened to me. That's Rich, Jeremy, Adam, Dad, Mom, Hiram. Who's back there? Don't know. Brian and me. That's my family. Me, Anna, Dale, Dad, Mom, Rich, Paul, Alice. That's my son Taylor in Memphis. That's the early family. That's one of the few complete pictures. And from the 70s. Anna, Paul, Mom, Rich, Dad, Dale, Scott, me, Alice. You can see those designs of here. It's that was a time of bell-bottom pants or something. Whatever. But anyways, I'm supposed to be reading Memoir to whatever, to Autobiography. Part 27. When I get back from India in 1989, when I left the master gave me a hug and waved goodbye. As I left the ashram, the taxi turned out of the gate of the ashram. I looked back and saw the master still waving goodbye. That meant he must have continued waving. He had taken the time to simply watch. As my car left, I started waving goodbye to people like he had. So when my girlfriend went for work, I waved until her car disappeared at a distant curve, or up until she disappeared in the imitation of the master. I would wave goodbye until they completely disappeared. After leaving India, I made a stop in Munich, Germany to visit Alice, and had studied German in college and had a liking for the German language. I admired the high quality food and the culture of Germany. I returned to Minneapolis and was quite charged spiritually. For a long time I was reading many of Coleman Park's Rumi books. I began writing more poetry of my own. I enjoyed the fact that his poetry could make sense to me, given his devotion to Tabriz. Later in 2005 or 2006, I traveled to Turkey and visited Konya to see the tomb of Maulana Rumi. We also stopped at the Tabrizi tomb of Tabriz. There were many old ladies there praying. I experienced a charged, tingling sensation from head to toe, sort of like you get at a great concert. You get you the chills. It was more of an energy. Though what was interesting was Kathy had the same experience. The tomb had a huge turban on it because it was tradition to increase the size of the turban by the greatness of their spirituality. Around June 30th, I got a call from Joan Cedar that the master had died. This was terrible shock, as everyone assumed there would be a fourth world tour. I couldn't really go to India for the funeral. I had already taken off a lot of time for the trip to India. I only then began to understand all the words the master had said about life was short. Strange that somehow I had only become an intern when I switched to the Treasury Department at FBS, and my time had run out. It is odd when I look back. I felt overly important that I knew how to analyze fixed income risk and thought they should be listening to me. It was a case of unrealistic, inflated ego that was unjustified, and actually pointless. I learned about politics from this experience. In the future, I would not have strong feelings about something I do not have a big stake in. I did not make any sense to care about a company in which you were not a shareholder. I wrote in a little poem, little puddles ran down my side. I thought they were my tears. My tears come from God, my sweat from the corporation. Later in my career, I had almost completely removed my own personal emotions from my work and only focused on my role as him. At a bank, I would discuss later, in particular, the impact of the hypo-DEPA merger. So after applying for jobs around Minneapolis or like Cargill, I decided to go back to New York. Plus, I had not finished my MBA degree and was 6 credits short of the degree. Previously, I had never finished my so-called applied business project. I had proposed an absurd topic like using artificial intelligence to analyze NASDAQ bid-ask spreads, since I really didn't know how to do it. The result was I never did it. My procrastination had gone on so long it had become something insane. And of course, doing it in Minneapolis was not going to happen. So when the university offered the chance to complete it just by taking 6 more credits, I jumped on it. So I learned something about procrastination. That once it got out of control, it could become phobic, and I learned that I was stuck. If I said I had an MBA, I would be a liar. So I had to finish. I knew Dyane Walters from business school. She had a friend who proposed that she would sleep with me if I finished the degree. After she understood my procrastination, she was ready to bet I would never finish. When I finally finished the degree, I looked her up and demanded payment. She seemed angry about it, so I assumed the whole thing was a joke anyways. Diane's life was a mess too. She was divorcing from her husband and had no job or money. I had not finished my MBA. I had no job and was still married to Maria, so I moved to 888 8th Avenue to where Dyane lived. We started looking for jobs, and I took my 6 credits to graduate. I graduated in 1990 and applied to a job at New York Life. I still had my M&M software project and had a program for pricing interest rate caps and floors. We actually got a confirmed copyright from the U.S. Copyright Office. I published an article on interest rate pricing interest rate swaptions while working at New York Life. I published by the bootstraps, a bootstrap method for driving a zero coupon curve for pricing interest rate swaps in Risk magazine in June 1990 issue, and a simple method of pricing interest rate swaptions, a black commodity model for pricing interest rate swaptions in the Financial Analyst Journal, May-June 1991. I think I could stop there. Part 27. I was having Earl Grey tea. I'm an Earl turning day. And here is a book about the Ohio pioneers. I had read about coming out of India and something about going to Turkey and leaving Minneapolis for New York. And I was reading part 27 of my first 40 years.